the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
What is the deal? For the second time, but y'all don't know that. For the second time, we are live. It is Brothas N Bets, and I am Marley Bets, and this is the first of many MLB shows. And when I'm talking MLB from here going forward, I'm going to have my guy, Mr. Moose Money Bets. What's up, Moose?
What's going on, Marley, man? Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day.
Yes, sir. Happy Memorial Day to all the vets out there. Appreciate your service. Appreciate those that made it home and those that didn't. We thank you. And no stranger to the show himself. He is a part of Brothas N Bets. Mr. LJ from Houston, the statistician. LJ, what's good?
What's going on, Marley, man? Finally got a baseball show popping off, I see.
Yeah. Finally, man. You know, you've been on my head about it, which is I appreciate it because I need, this needed to get done, and I'm glad I started it finally. I needed to have to lock in on basketball. Now that we got a finals matchup, I got time to cap some other sports and break down some other things. So go be leaning on you and Mr. Moose. We'll also have Dabby Cab joining the show. He's taking the day off right now. So we'll have Cab on. We'll probably have Coach. We'll have Mikey Howell. We'll have some other people that are doing the show. But for the most part, this is the crew along with Cabby. This is going to be our MLB show around the same time we do the NBA show, 3:30ish. Just kind of, y'all know I'm a working man still. So I even took my ass to work today. So anyway, before we jump right into it, I want your thoughts real quick, LJ, on Game 7. You too, Moose. Game 7, if you guys watched, NBA Finals, Miami, Boston. How'd you come out? Did you make any bets? What you saw? Exciting game? No? Yeah. LJ?
Yeah, I took Boston first half, which cashed, and I had Celtics full game. They barely hit it too. I think they won by 4. It was 3.5.
Yeah, 96 to 100.
Yeah, but I had the over 197.5, and the total hit 196.
I was looking at that too during the game in the fourth quarter. I was like, "Ooh, it's at 196." Like, oh, they're gonna get a basket, like,
bro. Our totals be fucking me so hard, bro. But all in all, I had a good day. Hit a baseball plays too, but I knew Boston was eventually, like I said, coming off a loss. They had this incredible record, so I just went with the trend cash. So hey, I ain't mad.
Moose, you do anything on the game?
I didn't have anything. I had a really good NBA season. So when the playoffs started, I was like, oh, I'm going to continue to eat. And I heard a lot of the cappers, Coach LJ, all the guys over at Pub Sports as well. I mean, everybody's saying, hey, playoffs is a different monster. It's a completely different monster. I kind of found out the hard way. I think right out the gates, I went like 1-8. I was like, okay, I got to rein it in a little bit. So got some live bets in there. I took a Mavericks when I think they were clinching the game 5 against the Jazz, but it was nice to see a game 7 that was like decent. So I didn't have anything on it, but it was just nice to like watch a game that actually had a conclusion and not some conclusion that was like already foregone in the second quarter. So that was at least worthwhile to watch.
Yeah, that was the best thing about Game 7 as far as that whole series go, because that whole series was shit as far as from a betting and a watching perspective. Like, I just didn't enjoy blowout one way, blowout the next way. It kind of sucked in my opinion, but it was exciting to finally get a shout out to Queen. She can't comment for it. Twitter still ain't fixed to come out, but she said she took Miami second half, so she cashed. She throwing me the signal, so I guess that means she cashed. I got to get you back on the show, Queen, for the MLB. So as far as my plays went, though, I took the over first quarter, 48. It cashed. I think it only cashed by a point, too, or maybe even a half point. It might have been 48.5. I think they only got 49, but it did cash. But I also took Miami, so first quarter, and they had the worst start, which I kind of knew. And I had Boston written in before my numbers and everything, and the trends was Boston. But I was like, at home, Game 7, crowd's going to be raucous. We're going to feed off the energy, and I switched it last minute to Miami. So I split 1-1 that day. Galactic High, my guy, was going down, big dog. Sending positive vibes your way, my brother James. Let's get it. Let's go, boys. I'm up 3 big ones. All right, let's keep it going then, James. God damn it. We ain't gonna let it stop today. All right, so man, let's jump into the reason we are here, guys, and that's to break down some MLB action. The first game on the docket I have is, I don't know why this game is up there, but
should be Nationals Mets, right?
Oh, there we go. No, I didn't delete the old games from like a long video ago, and they're all up here still. And I'm like, what the fuck? Nationals Mets is our first game on the docket. The run line for the Nationals is at +1.5. Obviously, the line is at -130. The money line is at +168. Mets run line is at -1.5. +110. The money line for the Mets is -178, and the total is at 9. Let's look at a couple of actual factuals before we jump into it. We'll start with the Nats. They're 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games, 5-13 straight up in the last 18 games against the Mets. 3-8 straight up in their last 11 on the road, however. 1-6 straight up in the last 7 games when playing on the road against the Mets. The totals is going over in 4 of the last 5 games played on a Monday for people that like those Monday kind of stats. Under in 7 of the last 10 games against an opponent from the NL East division. And over in 6 of their last 8 games. The Mets, they're 8-3 straight up in their last 11 games. 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games when playing at home against Washington. 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games against an opponent in the NL East division. And their totals have gone over in 5 of the Mets' last 5 games against an opponent from the NL. Over in 5 of the Mets' last 5 games at home. Under in 4 of the last 5 games against Washington, but over in 6 of their last 6 games. LJ, I'm going to throw it to you first, sir. Nats, Mets. What you got? Should I go over the pitching? I didn't say the pitchers.
It's Fetty and Peterson.
Yeah, I got it. We got Fetty, who's 3.5 ERA right now, and Peterson 2-0 with a 2.16 ERA in their last 3 starts. Peterson is 2-0 with a no decision, and Fetty is 2 seconds is 1 win, 1 loss. And no decision. Now I'll throw it to you, LJ. What do you have, if you have anything?
I'm on the Mets, man. I mean, it's no mystery here. This is a divisional game too, and like those trends that you ran off, the Mets pretty much own the Nationals. So Nationals got a minus point differential, -53, bro. That's worse than their division, and the Mets are in this division at +54. So I'm riding with the Mets, man. I took the run line, -1.5. I think they'll handle the Nationals pretty good today. And I took the over as well because the Nationals off a win, they're hitting 62% to the over, which is second in the MLB. And the Mets, as a home favorite, is hitting 57% to the over. So I'm going to take a shot on the over as well. I think it'd be a lot of runs the Mets put up today on the Nationals, and I'm riding with the Mets.
Even with Peterson on the mound?
Yeah, Peterson got a good record, I see.
Yeah, I'm saying with the over, not with the run line. I'm sorry.
I think the bats. I think they're going to put up a lot of runs on Fetty and kill that bullpen of the Nationals. So
Got you.
And I'm thinking the Nationals will get a couple runs too, maybe 2 or 3, because they're averaging 5 on the road. I don't know if they're going to get 5, but they should get around by 3. Maybe if I'm looking at 3, I'm looking at the Mets to get by 6, 7. So that'll go over.
Okay. Moose?
Yeah, I don't really have anything on this, but when I cap a game, if I'm off of a game, I'm usually going through every single nook and cranny to find if I have some kind of angle or something. And the over would be a look for me, but I just don't really trust really necessarily either Fetty to be bad, because Fetty in May has a 1.95 ERA. On the road, he has a 1.99 ERA. And he's been, I mean, all the metrics suggest that he should be way worse, but he just continues to get outs. He induces soft contact. He doesn't really get the swing and miss, but his average exit velo and barrel percentage are above league average. So you would expect Fetty to at least start regressing more to where you would think he would be. I just don't really want to bet on it because I've bet against it enough and it hasn't worked out. Peterson is the exact same thing, kind of going to that over point. He should have some regression. He has an xLOG of 431, meaning that the expectation of his slugging percentage would be higher. He has a higher hard hit percentage, barrel percentage. And I mean, really, the Nats haven't seen him, but the Nationals on the road hit 286. They have a 752 OPS. They don't have a winning record because their pitching is also terrible. So they really aren't able to keep up with other teams that are putting up runs. Last 7 games, both offenses are eerily similar. They're both pretty good. The last 15, Mets would have the offensive edge, but I am off this game right now.
Okay, excellent breakdown, Moose. I didn't make a play on the side, but I did take that over. And partly and mainly because I went back and looked at the Mets' last 5 games. I'm kind of more of a what have you done for me lately kind of guy. So I looked at the last 5 games and at the totals of their runs, and 13-12 Giants, 9-3 Giants, 8-6 against the Philly, 8-2 Philly, and 5-4 against their last game against the Philly. That's all 5 games getting me over the total that I need today. And then I went back and looked at the Nats. 3 out of their last 5 go over. And you said they're batting 288 on the road.
They're at 286. But the last 2 opponents were the Rockies and Phillies. So two of the worst pitching teams.
Take that for what it's worth. Right. Yeah. But in agreement with what you said too, they're not pitching as well, and that goes back to what LJ said. He expects the Mets bats to be live tonight. So I stayed away from the side, but I did like the over, and that's a play that I'm actually making as we speak while I'm talking to you guys. So I'm gonna take the over. LJ, I was leaning first 5 Mets because I'm kind of a first 5 guy. I don't know. What do you think about that? But it's kind of juiced. It's at -1.5, minus half a point.
No, I was gonna take full game just because of the situation of the Nationals. You see what I'm saying? I'm not mad at the first 5, but I think the Mets are handled in full game just because of the mismatch. And just to throw what we talking about right now, I'm gonna come with numbers and the records and the percentages. Moose is gonna come with the strikeout percentages and the velocity and all that.
Hey, what I'm saying? So we should have a great show then. You got one side covered. Moose has the other side covered.
Like seriously, bro. I feel like I was in science class when he was talking.
This is how I felt. Look, that's how I felt, LJ, the first day, like 5 years ago. You weren't even doing a gambling show. We were just talking. And I was like, I'm just going to go on the LJ show and do the show. I don't need any notes. I don't need anything. And man, you started talking and you was just blasting out statistics, left out the right. I was like, holy shit, I came so unprepared. This will never fucking happen again. I felt like I looked so fucking stupid.
You showed up for a pop quiz, but it was the final.
Exactly how I felt. The only thing saved me was like I know football, so I can talk football blindly, but with LJ was coming with a whole bunch of different shit. I wasn't prepared at all. We're actually going to break that game down. Is that game about to start? Do we need to go into it now? No, it's only 4:00.
I think it's later.
Yeah. I think all
these games at 5. After 5.
Yeah, all these games are purposely later for that very reason, James. But we are going to break that game down. And if we don't break any of the games down, or anybody in the chat that wants to know anything, when we do open mic, just post any games that you're that you guys may or may be looking at. Queen says, tell LJ she hopped on KC today and she took Oakland. She loves the Mets play today. Fetty be giving it up like a hooker. She said she took first 5 on Mets. Also, then Mets money line and Dodgers money line. So that's what we got coming in from Queen. All right, with that said, let's keep it moving, guys. We're gonna almost clicked on the wrong thing. Next game I got on the docket is we got the Brewers. The run line is -1.5 is at +115. The money line is at -133. Cubs run line is at -135. That's +1.5. The money line for the Cubbies is at +123, and the total is at an extremely high 11. Let's bust down some of these actual factuals real quick, and we're going to start with the Brewers. This is game 2 of a doubleheader, by the way. Let me throw that out there. And for the Brewers, the actual factuals are, oh my God, I don't have any trends for this game available. That's a weird one. Never had that before. All right, so that's all we have. Don't have any actual factuals on where I normally get my trends from. So with that being said, Moose, what's your breakdown? Who you got, if you got to play on this game, and what is it?
I mean, I don't have one again, but I did break it down every single which way. First thing you got to check when you're looking at a game in Wrigley, where's the wind? Is there wind? And yes, today there is wind. 17.9, about 18 miles an hour going out to left. But that always can change. So if there's boots on the ground, if you know somebody in Chicago, it's always worthwhile to maybe follow somebody that's close to Wrigley Field that can give you a little bit of a update on the wind, because that can play a factor, and it should be playing a factor tonight. There's a major difference between these two lineups. The Brewers have some guys that could hit. It's just about how they approach the game, though. They have 5 players that their expected batting average are over 265. The Cubs only have 2. So you're not going to get a really even lineup. But like I said, the Brewers' approach has been inconsistent, to say the least. They'll take first pitch strikes all game long, allowing a pitcher to get ahead. And if you're a hitter, allowing a pitcher to get ahead, you're now working behind. And the Brewers do that way too much. The Brewers are 14-6 at home because one of the things they do well is they hit for power, and they play in a ballpark that is conducive for that. When they're on the road, it's not nearly as effective. They're 16-12 on the road. But it is ironic. The Cubs, you'd think they'd be better at home. They were worse at home. They're 7-15 at home. They're 12-12 on the road. But the craziest stat, and this is kind of what led me off the game, because I was going to go over in some way, shape, or form for the Cubs. I was going to back them with Drew Smiley, who I kind of like a little bit. The Cubs during the day hit 252 with about a 761 OPS. At night, it drops all the way down to 221 with a 645 OPS. That's over 100 points down. They have significantly less numbers at night where they don't play as well. So any kind of Cub bet, I'm going to pull off of when I see that kind of stuff, especially when they're recently hitting 219 in May, 239 in their last 15, or the 239 in their last 15, 754 OPS. The Brewers versus lefties are only hitting 214, 649 OPS. Smiley's a lefty, but he's got a 5.93 ERA at home, and he's got a 5.61 ERA at night. Ashby is really good. He's got really good stuff, but he walks guys. And if you're facing a team that can slug like the Cubs, a walk can turn into 3 runs really quickly. So if you're playing an over, that works. But I do possibly like Ashby K props. The Cubs are ranked 25th in Ks, so that is something that Ashby does well. So I wouldn't be opposed to anybody playing that. I don't know if I'll get on it, just because walks will lead to higher pitch counts, and a higher pitch count means earlier exits. So I would probably just be off everything. But the closest I came was an Ashby K prop.
Okay. All right. Why do you think their numbers are so significantly different at day versus at night?
There is a theme to Cubs baseball, which is it's always been played during the day. They were the last team to adopt lights and lighted fixtures. I think they did that in like the late 80s, early 90s. So they did it really late. But the whole fan approach to the game is more day baseball than it is night baseball. Obviously, at night in Chicago, things can change, whether it's the environment around downtown or whether it's the weather itself. But at night in Wrigleyville is significantly different than daytime in Wrigleyville.
Gotcha. All right. LJ, you got anything Cubbies at home against the Brewers?
No, I stayed off, man. This is a doubleheader game. Those games are really tricky. If I had a lean,
who won the first game, if I'm not mistaken?
The Brewers.
I meant to keep up with it earlier and I didn't. So what do you
went
think
over
about taking the second team on a doubleheader, the team that loses on the second game of the doubleheader?
It usually works.
Anybody got any ideas about that trend?
It also depends on where that team is playing. If they're lower in the standings, you're probably going to see an adjusted lineup in the second game, because it's like, all right, we won the first game. We're going to rest some of our better players, and you're not going to see the same type of lineup. But if it's a team that's competing, hey, every win matters.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was just going to say, he just put it in the authentically words. You know, it just depends on the situation. But for this, I would lean the Brewers. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, this is a division game. And like he just said, the Cubs are worse at home than they are on the road. So I would lean, but I didn't take a play in this game just because of the doubleheader. And like I said, too much uncertainty with the lineup.
I didn't make a play. I was thinking Cubs run line because it's not that bad. I normally don't take plus run lines. I always take the minus run line for the plus money. But I was looking at it. I was like, minus 135 is not that much juice for the second game on a back-to-back when they lost the first game. But Moose scared me with all these nighttime stats that he just threw out and how things significantly.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It is so weird when I've looked that up because there's some teams that are split the other way that they suck in the day and they're really good at night.
Galactic Highs. Okay, yeah. Brewers 176. I looked that up. One and Done Sports was good. Took that Cubs Brewers over today. That cashed earlier. Yeah. What about 11 seems high again, but I mean we see 7-6 for an early game. I don't know, man. Those nighttime numbers you threw out there just really scared me.
Yeah, but then the wind is going out, so it'd be like, oh well, any fly ball is going to get pushed out. It's just a matter of you got to still hit the ball.
Get off to a red hot start first couple months.
Maybe I'll come back.
January, February, and the March.
No play for y'all in here. All right. Next game we got on the docket. Let's keep it going. We got the Orioles. They're on the road to take on the Red Sox. That line, the run line is plus 1.5, minus 135. The Red Sox run line is plus 115, minus 1.5. Of course, the money line is at minus 165, and the total for that game is at, and still kind of high to me, 10 right now. Let's look at the actual factuals. Start with the Orioles. They're 2-4 straight up in the last 6 games. 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games against Boston, however. 5-12 straight up in the last 17 games on the road. 2-8 straight up in the last 10 games when playing on the road against Boston. The Red Sox, they're 9-3 straight up in their last 12 games. 7-2 straight up in their last 9 games at home. 8-2 straight up in the last 10 games when playing at home against Baltimore. And their totals have gone under in 14 of the last 19 games against an opponent from the AL East, over in 7 of the last 10 games against an opponent from the American League, but under in 7 of the last 10 games against, over in 8 of the last 11 games, but under in 7 of the last 10 games against Baltimore. Mr. LJ from Houston. Oh, shit. I keep forgetting to go over the pictures. I don't know why, guys. Excuse me. I keep forgetting to announce the pitchers. On the mound today, we have Wells, whose ERA is 4.30. He's 1-4, and Hill 1-2 with the 3.86 ERA. And in his last 3 starts, Hill, that is, he is 1 loss, 1 decision, and 1 win. And Wells is 2 losses and a no decision. LJ, now we're on you, my good brother. What do you got for us on this game?
I didn't take none in this game. This is the 5th game of this series. They started Friday. They played 2 doubleheaders on Saturday. They played Sunday, and now they're playing a 5th game. So ain't no telling what's going to happen in this game. The Orioles do struggle against lefties, and the Red Sox has been smashing righties. So this could be a high-scoring game, but I'm going to stay off. There's too much uncertainty for me. I didn't play it. I didn't have no play on this game.
Moose.
Yeah, I'm the same. I was off. LJ said it. Orioles versus lefties hitting 216, and they haven't even really hit in the month of May much. They haven't hit in the last 15 games. They haven't hit in the last 7 games. You know who has been hitting those games? The Red Sox. They're number 1 across the board. Man. They have crushed it. So you know you're probably going to get some runs from the Red Sox. The Orioles could. The issue is, okay, well, why not back the Red Sox then? That's because Rich Hill has a home ERA of 6.17 ERA and 11 innings pitched. He's given up 13 hits and 3 home runs. And I looked up, okay, well, maybe they were just really good. It was the Twins, the Angels, and the Mariners. So, I mean, yeah, that's decent enough offenses, but not kind of really. So I would be terrified to back a Rich Hill team at home. Tyler Wells is a guy for positive regression. He last year had a 29% K rate, and right now it's 16%. All the metrics he's got are really good. So I would expect him to kind of regress back to where he would go, or be positive regression back to where he was more last year. It's a small sample size versus the Red Sox, but they do have 3 home runs and 24 at-bats. Baltimore does own the bullpen advantage. So if Baltimore gets a lead, it might not be a bad idea to possibly try to go on them there. But again, it's just too tough to go against the Red Sox the way they're hitting, and it's too tough to back the Orioles like the Red Sox are hitting and back the Red Sox the way that Rich Hill has been pitching at home.
All right.
What he said.
Yeah, exactly. I personally did not have a play on this game myself neither. Probably could have left it off. And for the reasons, obviously, what Moose said. I mean, the Orioles are batting, like you said, 229 right now, and the Sox are batting 262. They got the bats, but the way Rich Hill has been pitching here of late, I can't back him. And the money line is juiced to a point where I can't take the money line. Yeah. So it was a pass for me. I mean, Rich Hill's his ERA is at 3.86. He's given up 4 homers already. Yeah, I can't put my money on the run line. And like I said, the money line is just a little too juiced for me. That T says he likes the O's play. I mean, to me, that would be the way to play it if you're going to make a play on the game. But the Red Sox bats are hot, bro. Like, that has to scare you, right? A little bit. I mean, it scares me anyway. What else you saying, Tease? With that 10 total today in Boston. Is that what the total is? Yeah, it is 10. Depends on how good you think Wells is going to perform today. I mean, the bats are hot, but
it's variance because it could be the Orioles that don't hit lefties, or it could be Rich Hill that struggles at home, and both of them have a lot of credibility to it. So I really would.
Happen. They could struggle, and Rich could struggle.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna chill. That might be the better bet. Galactic High Red Sox team total over 5.5. 5.5 is a lot, but I mean, if you're gonna make a play, Tease, that is true. But I personally, I don't bet on bats to cool down. I bet on bats after they've cooled down. While they're hot, I bet on them while they're hot. If I lose and they cool down that day, then that's the risk I take. But I don't bet against hot bats in the hopes that this is the day they cool down. Not me, brother. I pick Rich Hill against torched. He's been getting torched, so yeah, that's definitely possible. But there's so much action, like I'm not gonna force it. We got other games, Tease. We got other games. As a matter of fact, we got 2 more to go. Man, I like the way we're moving, fellas. All right, next game we got on the docket. I know Moose has a play on this game for sure, and the next 2 games. I'm willing to bet LJ at least has a play on the next one. We got the Rays. They're going on the road to take on the Rangers. Welcome to Texas, Tampa. The run line for the Rays is at plus 115. That's minus 1.5. The money line is at minus 138. The Rangers run line plus 1.5 is at minus 135. The money line is at plus 128. The over under is at 8. I got a couple actual factuals to read off really quick. We'll start with the Rays. They're 4-2 straight up in their last 6 games. 3-6 straight up in the last 9 games against Texas. 2-5 straight up in the last 7 games on the road. 10-4 straight up in the last 14 games when playing on the road against Texas. The totals has gone over in 4 of the last 6 games against an opponent from the AL West division, but under in 4 of Tampa's last 6 games. The Rangers, they're 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games, but 4-10 straight up in the last 14 games when playing at home against Tampa. 4-2 straight up in their last 6 games against an opponent from the American League. And the total has gone under in 5 of the last 7 games, but only when they're playing as an underdog, and over in 4 of the last 5 games when they're at the crib. Moose, since I know you got to play on this game, let's start with you, my brother.
Yeah, I got the Rays. I know that they haven't been hitting. It's just basically they're a scratch offense. So they're not going to be a team that you're expecting to put up 8, 9, 10 runs a game. You can't expect them to play some good offensive baseball, bunt a guy over, take the extra base. They do all the little things to be able to get that run across. But you're not going to see that stuff show up in their batting averages or their slugging or the OPS, which is where you generally are going to see the numbers show up when it's a good offensive team. The Rays are not necessarily a good offensive team. This is way more about a fade of Otto. Otto is an auto fade to me. He's a 10.8 ERA at home. He's got 2 starts there. He's got a 5.18 ERA at night. He's got an expected batting average of 286, an expected slugging percentage of 545, which ranks as one of the worst in MLB. So he's given up a 545 slugging percentage, which is one of the worst in the league. So anytime you get a guy that's the worst in the league at something, it's generally a good idea to try to go against him in some way, shape, or form. He's got an 11.8 walk percentage, so he's walking guys and then giving up big hits. Expected ERA of 5.95. So this is all about going after Otto. I do like Rasmussen for the Rays. He's got a 251 expected batting average, 3.34 expected ERA. He's got a 3.5 ERA on the road. He's got an even better ERA at night, is 2.86. But the one thing that Rasmussen does is he gives up hard contact, and the Rangers, they give a lot of really good hard contact. They have 5 players that have over 41% hard hit rate. They have others that are right around that 40% marker. And then the rest also have good exit velocity. They have good sweet spot percentage numbers. So there are some things that suggest the Rays or the Rangers could hold up. I just think that Otto is just that bad. He's going to pitch that poorly. And I really feel comfortable backing a Tampa Bay Rays team that I just think is better than the Rangers. I wouldn't talk anybody off of an over. Texas has been a top 10 offense, but they're not as good at home.
All right. But on that Rays play, did you have money or run line?
So I went Rays money line at -133. I went Rays run line at +130, and I went first 5 Rays at +105 on the run line -0.5.
For show purposes, what do you want to give? You can give as many as you want. By the way,
I'm giving all 3. If I play it, if I have it on my books, it's on your books too. So if I played it, if I put my money on it, you're like, hey, count it.
You might as well copy and paste me too, because I'm on exactly all those plays that Moose just said.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, so I got first 5, I got money line, and I have run line. I think that goes as a trifecta in my
pretty much. I'm the same way. I capped it the same way. Rays, they won his last 6. They won Rasmus's last 6, 7 starts, and 8 of 9. So he's only allowed 6 runs in those 6 starts. So I'm on his K prop too, over 6.5 Ks, +140. I'm on the K prop too. So I'm all on Rasmussen today. Definitely. And like you say, it's the fade of Otto. He's just trash.
Otto fade.
Yeah. Perfect matchup for Rasmussen.
Well, I was originally just on the first 5 because I was fading Otto. However, in listening to Moose's breakdown, I'm going to follow the trifecta as well because I just have that much faith in my guy. So I was only originally on the first 5. Like I said, I was just fading Otto. But in listening to everything my man Moose just said, how can I not get on it? Galactic High says he also took no runs first inning as well. What's the man, do we get that offer?
We
LJ?
don't get those. We don't get those nerfies.
So. God damn it.
I mean, it's a game prop. I'm not sure if it's in any of your game prop books.
It might be in the props. Maybe we need to look at the props.
It may be.
Bovada,
it may be a prop bet.
Yeah, Bovada just gives it to me straight up, like as one of the bets, like that you can see on the screen. But in the other ones, I have to go into the player prop section and search through game props.
All right, I'm gonna try that. I'm still putting together a $5 come up segment right now, so I don't want to switch what I got going. All right, Amazing breakdown. James says, any one play y'all feel confident in tonight, fellas. So hold that thought, guys. We'll do that next. We'll do a best bet. We got one more game, James, to break down, and then we'll get into whatever we didn't cover that anybody wants to hear us talk about, or best bets, $5 come up, prop bets that we got that we like, and other leans before we decide to get up on out of here. All right, so the last game on today's docket is the Atlanta Braves. Oh my God, I got to check my Twitter. That could be Queen. I've been forgetting to check that. Atlanta Braves, they're going on the road to take on the D-backs. The run line for the Braves is at -1.5, plus 135. The money line is definitely incorrect. It is not plus 135. It is, I'll still have unofficial sponsor UWager open. It is -118. The run line for the D-backs plus 1.5 is at -155, and the money line is at plus 108. The total is at 8.5. Couple of little actual factuals. We're going to start out with the D-backs. They're 4-2 straight up in their last 6 games, 7-3 straight up in the last 10 games against Arizona, 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games when playing on the road against Arizona, 2-5 straight up in their last 7 games against an opponent in the National League West Division, and the total has gone over in 13 of their last 20 games against an opponent in the NL, over in 5 of the last 7 games. The D-backs, I got you, Queen. That was Queen. Arizona is 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games, 2-6 straight up in the last 8 games, 1-6 straight up in the last 7 games against Atlanta at the crib, and their totals have gone over in 5 of the last 6 games against an opponent from the NL East Division, over in 4 of the last 5 games against Atlanta, and over in 6 of the last 9 games. Mr. LJ from Houston, do you have anything on this game, and what do you got?
Yeah, man, I took Arizona first 5. I'm a Gallon guy. You know, he's pitched very well. And this is more of an Atlanta fade as well, because I looked up off a win. They're hitting 27%, so they don't do well off of a win. And like I said, I'm going with Gallon tonight on the mound for Arizona. I took the full game too as well, because I just don't trust Atlanta on the road. And I'm going to take a shot on the plus money with the Diamondbacks tonight, man. I'm a Diamondbacks guy. They've been hitting well last couple of weeks. They'll pop people that thinking that they're not, you know what I'm saying, the underdogs. And 70%, you know, they're hitting 76% to the under too as a home underdog this year. So I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to take first 5 Arizona. I don't know what the number is, though. So you're going to have to look that up.
I can get that for you really quick. Go ahead, Moose. What you got?
I'm on the exact same thing. I mean, I swear, LJ and I did not coordinate on this. Like, we did not talk about this before. We did our own thing before we got in here. It's pretty simple to me. Zach Gallen is a good pitcher. He's a very good pitcher. And he's going up against a bullpen day for the Braves. Strider, this is his first ever start this year. So it's not like he's been a bullpen guy that's gotten a few spot starts. This is his first one this year. The most he's ever thrown was 3 2/3. He will walk guys. So he will give up a lot of walks. One of the things that the Diamondbacks thrive off of is they will get their walks and they will hit for power. They won't hit for average. I mean, you look up their average numbers, their offensive average numbers. It's not great, but you will notice that their lineup does take walks and they will hit for power. So if you're giving me a guy in a bullpen day that will give up walks against a Diamondbacks team that knows how to create runs, and they're going up against a pitcher that is just good, I get the Braves, their last 7, they've got a 278 average and 815 OPS, but man, this pitching advantage is just too much. It's just too much for me. So I went first 5 Diamondbacks. I went money line and I went run line on that.
Ooh. All on it.
All right.
Plus 108. Let's get it.
Get that.
Yeah, I got the money line was -105 when I took it last night, and the -0.5 was plus 125. So that's what I grabbed.
All right,
nice.
D-backs, money line. LJ, you were on money line and first 5.
Yep, for sure.
All right.
So I'm just first 5 money line. I'm not full game. I don't trust the Diamondback bullpen. I'm staying away from that. I don't want to touch those guys.
Yeah, I
First
feel you.
five.
It's more of a fade for Atlanta. They suck off a win. So it's like worse than the league. 27% off a win. Yeah, it's like worse than the league. So I'm gonna take a shot. I'm a stat guy. You know, I like the trends. I like to follow stats. So because like I said, I'm getting your insight of the players, the pitchers, and what they do well. That's why I'm glad we finally doing this show, because it's gonna help me out for us knowing the real insight of the game. Before it's just the numbers and the trends. You see what I'm saying? I do all that, on my own, and look forward to listening to other people with the insight. So
yeah, because as far as my capping goes, I'm like pitchers, first fives, ERAs, couple trends, but I'm definitely not as in depth as Moose is.
Yeah, the other thing I'd be looking at here, in fact, I very well might make the bet is I'm going to go look at Gallon K props. Atlanta, hold on, I'm going to double check this number.
I think it's make sure. Over 7.5 plus 110. Or minus 110 over 7.
Appreciate you that, my brother.
Atlanta and Arizona both rank as 29 and 30th in strikeout percentages. So Atlanta is the worst team in the MLB in terms of strikeout percentages. 8.5 though, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, Gallon does get his Ks, but that's a lot.
So I just took the first 5, and mainly not because of all the great statistics that Moose gave, because I didn't even look that deep into it. I'm just backing Gallon here. Like I said, man, you gave a stat earlier, and I meant to remember it. I can't remember what it was. It was something crazy, something like opponents' batting percentage, something that I never looked up that was crazy. Shit, I wish I can remember it.
You know what game?
Yeah, it was the last game, man. And I meant to remember it because I meant to ask you, how the hell did you find that stat? It was something crazy.
Are you talking about the autos worse than league slugging percentage?
No, that wasn't it. It was something to do with some bats, I felt.
Well, if you think about it, let me know.
I don't know. Yeah, when I'll catch it. So I got Moose on, just to make sure I got the stuff in correctly. First 5 D-backs money line, and I have LJ on D-backs money line and the first 5 money line. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, just gonna recap everything really quick before we get out of here. Play related. LJ's plays are as stands. Mets run line. Let me know if I got anything wrong, LJ. Mets run the line. Excuse me. Mets run line over 9. Rays trifecta. That's the first 5 money line and run line. So we call it trifecta on this show. D-backs money line and first 5.
There you go.
The homie Moose Rays first 5 money line and run line trifecta, and D-backs first 5. I didn't write money line, but money line. That's what we got. Everything look good, Moose?
Yeah, I mean, I did take the run line too with -0.5. But I think the juice has gone the wrong way on that. I think people are betting that Diamondbacks first 5.
Gotcha. As for myself, I have 3 plays that I have on the board today. Mets and Nats over 9. Rays. Oh, I trifecta. I'm just following Moose on that one. Trifecta with Moose and first 5 money line D-backs. Anybody that's still left out here. Oh, man, James, my guy, dog. I sure appreciate that, my brother. See the chat then kind of dwindle down. I never remember to say, like, hit the like button and do all that fancy stuff. I gotta get better at that, guys. But anything else anybody want us to cover that we didn't cover? Hold on, my phone going off. So that probably is the homie Queen. She says... no, we didn't do the Royals. Do you got anything on the Royals game, Moose?
Didn't it start already?
Let me check.
I think it started.
It says she took the D-backs too. LJ first 5 is plus a half. Royals or any Dodgers. Anybody got anything on the Dodgers?
I mean, the Dodgers, they're juiced to the holy hell. I mean,
like, was it -2? I can go look at it real quick. The Royals has not started yet. It starts at 5:10.
Okay, well then quickly on the Royals Guardians. I don't have my notes in front of me, but Plesac is a huge fade guy. The Guardians don't play as well at night as they do during the day. They are really struggling right now with their approach. I mean, I watched it. I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday with Cab, and I mean they were going 0-2 against a guy that literally walked the world. You could have played the statue game in the batter's box, and you would have gotten to first base. But they decided to go up there and swing out of the zone. You know, they were just overly aggressive, and how somebody didn't give them any kind of idea about doing a zone approach or whatever to change that. So I would be off on the Guardians. I know people are still kind of bullish on their offense, but I really have seen some things that lead me to think that it's going to be a much longer summer than some people anticipate. The Royals are hitting a lot better. They are starting to somewhat show some signs of life, but it's just a matter of, do you expect it to continue? And it's tough to think that the Royals are going to continue to hit and not go back to what they were just a few weeks ago.
The Dodgers are too juiced. 345. Jesus Christ. No.
Parlay it with something. You got to parlay the Dodgers with something else.
I'll pass. I shall pass. LJ, you got anything on the Rangers game tonight?
Yeah, I took the Rangers, bro. I think they go upset Carolina.
Upset. Anything on the total?
No, I just took the money line plus. I think it's plus 155 or something for the Rangers. What was it?
It's come down because I'm looking at plus 130.
Okay, yeah, it came down. Well, I still take it. I'm going with the plus money tonight. The Rangers have won I think it's like 4 out of the last 5, I believe, because it's been 2 at their house, and then they went back to Carolina. Now they're coming back. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Rangers, man. It may still be an under, considering these games been low scoring, but I'm just gonna go with the plus money Rangers. I think they're playing good right now, and I'm just looking for some plus money tonight because I'm always looking for the profit.
Always looking to make a profit. Goddamn right.
Yeah, to answer James, yeah, I definitely would back that. If I bet it, then I definitely would say absolutely.
Quick question. What do you guys think about oh no, you guys are on this. Oh, never mind. I'd rather take the money line than the half a point. Okay. Just making some last minute entries. I think I'm just gonna take the Rays first 5 minus half. I want that plus money.
Oh, Astros score again. Let's go.
I wanted to add that game, but I didn't think we were going to make it in time, so I decided not to.
Oh, let's go, Cardinals! Let's go. Sorry.
All right. Sorry. What else we got? Nah, bro, you're good. You're good.
You rooting for the Cardinals, but got a Padres hat on.
Dude, this is the one team I have. It's the only team I get to cheer for as a professional is the Padres. It's some kind of weird torture when you go hard in the paint on the Cardinals and you take first 5, full game money line, run line, team total, ladder play.
Yeah, all over that shit. James, wait, you can parlay first 5s? Because I cannot.
Yeah, my books allowed me.
Wow. Hey, unofficial sponsor, you wager. Y'all got to step y'all game up before we find us another unofficial sponsor. Jesus, that's nice. Moose, do you like parlay?
Oh, Altuve with the home run. Man, I took his 3+ bases today. That boy hit a home run.
Nice. There you go. Nice.
Hey, this is a
Royals in Cleveland. What y'all think about the under 10?
I wouldn't be playing any under that involves Zach Plesac.
I wouldn't either. Yeah,
and I didn't break that game down, but I heard him say
I'm the CEO, manager, director of marketing, all in one. I'm working on design.
Yeah, definitely stayed off that game.
Man, Altuve hit a home run.
And I wouldn't take an under, yeah.
Wow.
No way at all. All right, man, we're almost at the hour mark. LJ, do you have any $5 come-ups?
Nah, I didn't do nothing today, man. I was capping baseball, so I didn't get a chance to do a little $5. I was trying to get all the numbers for the week, but I will have one starting tomorrow for sure.
Got you. Well, I did one during the show for shits and giggles because I did not have one. Moose, you don't, feel free to partake or to not partake. It's just a little segment I came up with because me and LJ, we always sprinkle a little something on the parlay, along with our straight bet. So it's a segment I named the $5 come up. It's like if you got $5 to throw away, or you only got $5 and you need to come up, 5 to win your 40 or $50, so you can then turn that into a straight bet play. Name the segment the $5 come up. We normally give a 3 or more leg parlay, across sports, single sport, however you like to do it, doesn't really matter. So if you decide to partake, future references. On my $5 parlay today, $5 come up today, I had Mets and Nats over 9. I got Diamondbacks money line backing Zach Gallen. Tampa Bay Rays on the money line. We added the Rangers on the money line. It's $5. That's a 4-teamer. $5 win you about $54. Can't ask for anything else. LJ Moose, do we have any props?
The only one I was looking at was Ashby K props and Gallon K props. I might take a second look at the Ashby K props, but the Gallon one at 8.5, having to get 9, that's a little too much. But yeah, maybe an Ashby K prop.
Gotcha. LJ.
Yeah, I'm on a Rasmus K prop for the Rays. And Gallons, I was looking at Gallons too, but I'm with Moose, man. They kind of got it juiced. So I'll probably stay off of that one. I was looking for the Brewers and Cubs doubleheader to come out with the lineup to see if Hunter Renfroe is going to be in there, because he's been hitting the ball pretty well for the Brewers. So I took his 2+ bases along with I just took out Altuve's and he hit a home run. So I'm doing good on that one. But that's all I had today.
All right, I did not break down any props today. I'll be better, guys. All right, so before we get up out of here, one last time, LJ, Mets run line, Mets and Nats. He has the Mets on the run line. He has the over at 9 as well. Rays trifecta, that's the money line, first 5 and the run line. D-backs money line and first 5. Mr. Moose Money has the first 5 in the Rays game, the money line and the run line. That's the Rays trifecta. He's also on the D-backs first 5. That is a money line play. I didn't put it in with the ML. And me, myself, I am on Mets and Nats over 9. Following Moose on the Rays trifecta. That's the first 5 money line and the run line. I'm also on the first 5 money line. D-backs we're rocking with Gallon. Moose, tell the people where they can find you, your Twitter, where they can get your picks from, and any information you want to give out before we get about it.
Everything I do is on Twitter. I'm not one of those. I don't really do anything like charging anything. That's just I love creating the content with all you guys, especially when it's good people. You can find me on Twitter at Moose Money Bets. If you have any questions, I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it till the day I die. I'm all about having that communication, having that dialogue. If there's something that you want to know, like, hey, why is it that you're on this? Why is it you're off of this? Don't hesitate to reach out. I'll usually have an answer, and if I don't, I'll just tell you, man, I don't know.
Cool. Mr. LJ from Houston.
I don't know. For real. So honest. I love it. Of course, man, y'all can find me at LJ from H-Town on Twitter at LJ from the H. Raw Words Podcast, streaming on YouTube. We need to do a basketball NBA final show soon, so we will be coordinating that before Thursday. And you can catch me here on Brothas N Bets on weekdays, Monday through Friday, making our picks and plays for the NBA, which is winding down. We make our hockey plays, which is winding down, and we're going to start doing our baseball plays because I really enjoyed the show today. We got a knowledgeable person on that I could get some insight from. Moose, shout out. And let's make this money, guys, for sure.
All right, man. Moose, appreciate you, my brother, coming to doing the show. It was a pleasure. Definitely feel like we're going to make a lot of money this season. And if not, I'm going to learn a lot more about baseball than I ever have before in my life. I definitely appreciate all the knowledge you're bringing to the show. LJ, as always, my brother, you know, your love is much appreciated and much needed here at Brothas N Bets. Before we get out of here, people, want to let y'all know, man, happy Memorial's Day to all the vets out there. I got vets in my family. I'm sure everybody knows a vet, or if doesn't have a vet in their family, man, just tell them thank you. We appreciate their service no matter what side of the political landscape you stand on. We should all be able to thank our vets for today. So want to end on that note. Got one more person in the comments, man. What we saying? SBO. What's up, SBO, man? What's good? It's all good, dog. It's all good. But you hit that big money line the game before, though, so you good on that Heat game, man. All right, people, y'all know what it is, man. I am Marley Bets, and this is Brothas N Bets, and that down there, that's Moose Money, and that. Oh, wait, I had it right. That right there, that's the homie LJ from Houston. And like yesterday, like today, and like tomorrow, y'all know what it is, man. Let's beat Vegas. We out this
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey,